Hi, good morning. My name is Victor. Welcome to Down Yoga. This is an all-level class, 60 minutes. We use only our mat today, and we'll start the class today in child's pose, so you can have your feet to the back of the mat, and either have your knees together or your knees a little wider, so you can rest your rib cage on the thighs. Reach the hands forward, and start here with your arms engaged. So push the palms down, and your forearms are not touching the floor. You can rest the forehead down to the floor. Start taking deeper, slow breaths. You can close your eyes for a moment, getting the attention into your body, into the mind. You can softly block the passage of the air through the back of the throat. Create that soft sound, working on the Ujjayi Pranayama. Keep firming the palms of the hands down. Spread the fingers wide. And keep watching how the breath flows through the entire torso. You can start spinning the triceps down to the floor. Notice what your scapula is doing, the shoulder blades on your back. Try not to have them closer together, but try to widen them a little more, bring them further apart. And keep pressing the hands down to the floor. Breath slow and even. Keep watching the noise of the breath the best you can. The quality of the breaths just as good as the postures. So try to link them, try to keep them soft and smooth. Slowly come up into a tabletop position. Spread your fingers wide. Firm the arms here, spinning the triceps back. You can have your toes tucked under or untucked, your choice. Knees as wide as the hips. Keep your shoulder blades broad here, arms engaged. And moving with your breath, let's move through a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, you can look up. Try to keep moving the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, point your tailbone down, draw the navel in. Push the floor down, round your back. Inhale slowly. Arch. Exhale, round for cat. Let's come through it one more time. Inhale, you can slowly arch. Exhale, round. Bring your spine back to neutral. Now start noticing where the weight is on the palms of your hands. Bring the weight to the inner edge of your hands. So if you feel like you're pressing through the outer edges, try to move that in, spin the triceps back. You can walk the hands about a 1 palm print forward. Tuck your toes under. Let's move into downward facing dog. Start with your knees bent here. Bend your knees a lot. And pushing with the hands, try to move the hips as far back as you can. Come as high as you can onto your toes. Keep your knees bent. Try to move the hips further back. Bring the chin towards your chest. And then slowly you can release the heels down to the floor. If you need to paddle your feet a few times, you can do that. Looking between your feet, if you can see your heels, try to hide your heels behind your ankles. Think of spinning your inner thighs back towards the back of the mat. Breathe into the sides of the body. A few deep, slow breaths. Slowly inhale. Come forward into plank pose. Keep the thighs engaged, reaching the heels as far back as you can. Point your tailbone to your heels. Move your shoulders forward. Come halfway down into chaturanga with your knees up or down. Inhale, push up into plank. Exhale, down dog. Again with our breath. Inhale, plank pose. Arms strong, legs strong, halfway down. Inhale, push up into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that one more time. Come forward into plank. Chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep, slow breaths. Press the heels down towards the floor. They don't need to touch. Just keep reaching them down. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step your right foot outside your right hand into a lizard lunge. You can keep your palms on the floor or your fingertips on the floor. Lengthen the left leg here. Reaching forward with the chest, get long through the sides of the body. And then inhale, both legs straight. Move your hips back. Again, move forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, both legs straight. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, come forward. Exhale, both legs straight. Let's hold here for about 5 breaths. Keep both legs strong, so still driving the left heel back. Moving the chest forward. And maybe you flex your right foot. Getting a little more engagement through the back of the right leg. Deep, slow breaths. Now you can bend the right knee again. Plant your palms down to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Keep your feet about as wide as the hips. Come halfway down into chaturanga. Inhale, push up into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths again. Bring the chin closer to the chest. Firm the heels down. Inhale, raise the left leg, lifting through the inner thigh. So your left toes are still pointing down to the floor. As you exhale, step your left foot outside your left hand. Reach the right heel further back, palms on the floor, maybe your fingertips on the floor so you can lengthen. Exhale, bring your hips back, left leg straight. Inhale, bend your left knee, reach your chest forward, get deeper on the right side of the hip. Exhale, both legs straight. Inhale, bend your left knee, move forward, lengthen the torso. Exhale, move your hips back. Stay here for another 5 slow breaths. And you can flex the left foot. And keep reaching through the sides of the body again. Driving the left heel down to the floor and moving the right heel further back, so engage in the right quads. Keep watching the breath the entire time. Now bend your left knee, place your left foot down to the floor. Place your hands again underneath the shoulders, step back into plank pose. Bend your elbows halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, push up into plank. Exhale, down dog. Push the heels down. Keep firming the hands so your triceps are still spinning down to the floor, giving more space to your neck. Release the tension, crown of the head down to the floor. Inhale, look in between the hands. Raise your heels high. Bend your knees. And you can step or hop to the front of the mat. If an inhale, lengthen, halfway up. Bring your hands to the shin here and keep moving the sides of the body forward so you get the most length you can through the waist. Keeping the neck somewhat aligned with the rest of your spine. Then you can bend your knees slightly, fold forward. And notice here where the weight is on your feet. You can move your hips forward so the weight moves from the heels to the base of your toes. Again, inhale, come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway up. Lengthen. You can always bend your knees if you need. Try to get a little lighter on the heels. Exhale, fold forward. Now firm all four corners of the feet on the floor. Firm your quads. You can put a small bend on the knees. Reach your hands all the way up. Come into Urdhva Hastasana. Your palms touch on top, looking between the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now you can bring your toes to touch or keep your feet slightly apart. 3 deep breaths here. Engage your legs, point your tailbone slightly down. Let's inhale, reach the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, straight back. As you exhale, plant your palms, and let's step back into plank this first time. Let's hold this plank here for a few breaths. Push the heels back. Firm your thighs, so your thighs are lifting from the floor. Sometimes on plank pose, we kind of sink the hips down. Try to avoid that. So point your tailbone to your heels, and try to create that straight line from the heels to the top of the head. You can look about half a foot in front of the fingertips, so you keep the neck aligned with the rest of the spine. Keep spinning the triceps back. Bring the weight to the base of the index finger. Move your shoulders forward. Try to bring your heels right over your toes. And then bend your elbows. Keep the elbows in. Hold. And then lower all the way down to your belly. Keep the hands next to your chest and tuck the toes. Push down the tops of the feet with the pinky toe side of your feet. So you're touching all your toes down to the floor. Draw the elbows closer together the best you can. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Keep the heads of the shoulders moving back and the chest forward. Keep pointing the toes as far back as you can. Exhale, lower down. Inhale again, lift. Maybe a little higher into Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down. Now walk your hands slightly back, elbows above the wrists. Firm your legs, knees off the floor. Inhale, up dog. Keep your chest broad. With an exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep, slow breaths. Keep firm the front of your thighs back. Strong legs, moving the hips as far back as you can also. Inhale, bring your gaze forward, raise your heels, bend your knees. And with your exhale, you can step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, firm your feet and your legs, reach all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, palms touch, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's repeat that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. And then you can plant your hands, step or hop back into Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Keep the back of your neck long, bring the chin closer to the chest. And breathe, keep watching the breath. Let's look in between the hands, raise the heels, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's reach Urdhva Hastasana all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Fun inhale, lengthen. Reaching with the sides of the waist. Plant your hands. You can step or float back into Chaturanga. Halfway down. Tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, move your hips back to down dog. And stay connected to the breath. Firm the heels down the best you can. Now let's reach the right leg back. Still pointing the toes down to the floor. Exhale, shoulders over the wrists. Bring your knee to your nose. Push the floor down away from you. Inhale, reach the leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, bring the knee to your nose. Keep rounding the back here so you're moving the weight of your torso up and away from the floor. Step the right foot in between your hands. Lengthen the torso here. Step your left heel down to the side. Set up for warrior one. Keep the hips and the chest square with the floor. Bring your hands up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee a little deeper. And keep firming the outside of the left foot down, squaring the hips and the chest to the front of the mat. Point your tailbone down to the floor. You can keep your hands apart or touch the palms together, your choice. Bend your right knee a little deeper. Now straighten the right leg. As you exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. And keep reaching forward with the sides of the body. And try to fold only halfway down so you're still working on lengthening the torso. Pushing down with the base of the right big toe now. Keep the engagement off the left leg. Try to release the right hip further back. So you feel a little on the IT band on the outside of the right leg. And breathe, deep slow breaths. Now bend the right knee, plant your palms down to the floor, step back into plank, readjust the feet. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga, hug the elbows in. Move into up dog as you inhale. Engage the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Firm the heels down. Get long through the back of the body. Lifting through the left inner thigh. Reach the left leg back. Getting long, reaching with the heel. Exhale, knee to your nose, shoulders over the wrists. Lift your chest away from the floor. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose again. Stack your shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee to your nose. Keep spinning the triceps back so your arms are strong. And step the left foot in between the hands, lengthen. Set your right heel down to the side, set up for warrior one. Hips and chest squared with the front of the mat. Reach your hands up. Avoid allowing your right knee to bend, so keep the right quads engaged. Move the right side of the hip slightly forward. Bend your left knee a little deeper. And keep lifting the front of your hips up so you're not dumping into your lower back here. Send deep breaths to the sides of the body, to the back ribs. Soften the gaze. Reach a little higher, another deep inhale. Both legs straight. As you exhale, reach the hands down to the floor. Keep your left leg as straight as you can. Firm the left big toe down to the floor. Try to work on lengthening again the torso so your spine is straight. Don't fold all the way down yet. Try to move the left side of the hip back now. The right side moving forward. And breathe. Notice if the inhale and the exhale are even. Slow, the same length. keeping the engagement of the right quads. You put a small bend on the left knee now. Plant your hands down to the floor, step back into plank pose. Holding this plank here, step your feet together. Now roll to the outer edge of the left foot, reach the right hand up to the ceiling into a side plank. And you can keep looking down to the left hand, spin the left triceps back, or look up to your right thumb. Keeping the engagement of both of your legs. The gaze is soft on one spot. Deep, slow breaths. See if you can move the shoulders away from the ears here, sliding the shoulder blades down onto your back. Lower the right hand down to the floor. Try to keep your feet together. Now roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Engage the right triceps. Reach the left hand up to the ceiling. Keep both of your feet flexed. Point your tailbone to your heels. Look down to the right hand. Or to challenge your balance a little more, you can look to your left thumb. Keep your neck long by reaching the shoulders down onto your back. And breathe. Stay for another inhale. Exhale, lower the hands down. This time step the feet as wide as the hips again. Chaturanga, halfway down. Keep the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press the heels down, move your hips back. 5 deep, slow breaths. So here, avoid bringing the shoulder blades too close together. You want to bring them a little further apart, so you don't have too much tension on your neck. Keep moving the hips back also. Now let's look in between the hands. Raise your heels, bend your knees. You can step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Now bend your knees, sink your hips low, swing your hands forward and up. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring the weight to your heels, hands to heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the right. You can bring the elbow outside the right thigh. Press the palms together. Try to keep light on the toes. Shoulders moving down. Shoulder blades sliding down to your back ribs. Bend your knees a little deeper. Untwist, come back through center. Keep your knees bent. Exhale, twist to your left this time. Keep releasing the toes, moving the shins further back. Try to bend your knees a little deeper. Press the palms together, bring the thumb to the center of the chest. Knees is still bent. Chair pose. And then slowly stand up. Hands to heart center, Samastiti here. Firm all 4 corners of the feet again. Engage the thighs back. Inhale, chair pose. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. With an exhale, plant your palms, and you either step or float back into Chaturanga. The tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the heels down to the floor. A few deep, slow breaths here. You can take your breaks as needed. I'll stay right here for a few breaths. Keep the awareness with the breath. So you're trying to keep your breath even the best you can. That will help you to clear your mind, get more peaceful mind just by watching the gaze and the breath. If you're in child's pose, come back into downward facing dog, reach the right leg back. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose and hold. Spread your shoulder blades wide. And then lightly, right foot in between your hands. Let's place the left foot flat on the floor, both legs straight. It's moving straight into Trikonasana here, triangle pose. You can place the right hand on top of the shin, or fingertips touching the floor, maybe the palms touch the floor. You can also use a block if you have one. Pushing the base of the right big toe down to the floor. Form the left leg. Place your left hand onto your hip. Bend your right knee. You can give a small step with your left foot forward. From here, let's move into half moon pose. Ardha Chandrasana. Get long with your left leg, reaching with the heel. Reach the left hand up. And you can keep the right hand touching the floor or the block, or hover the right hand off the floor. You can keep look down to the floor, or maybe bring the gaze to the side wall or to the ceiling. As you reach the left heel back, keep reaching the chest forward, so still lengthening the upper back. Keep the breath long and even. With control and slowly, you bend the standing leg. You make your way back into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Open up the chest. You can look up to your left hand. Exhale, left hand down to the floor. Pivot your left heel up, both legs straight. It's a variation of pyramid pose. You can flex your right foot. Keep engaging here, driving the right heel down to the floor. Keeping this active. You can spread your right toes as well. That helps the engagement of the calves. Keep pushing the left heel back as well. Place your right foot down onto the floor. Plant your hands on the floor. Pick your right foot off the floor here. And touch the right knee onto the right triceps if you can. And hold here. We'll come back here in a little bit. And then just step the right foot back into plank pose. Bend your elbows halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. As you exhale, come into downward facing dog. 3 deep, slow breaths again. Try to keep the breath calm. Inhale, let's raise the left leg. Getting long. Reaching with the heel, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, knee to your nose and hold. And try to lift the chest away from the floor. Step your left foot in between the hands. Lower the right heel down so the right foot's flat. Left leg straight. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Reach the right hand up to the ceiling. Keep pushing down at the base of the left big toe. Moving the left side of the hip to the center line, so you are aligned the waist right on top of the leg. And breathe. You can look down to the foot or up to the right hand, your choice. Don't forget to engage the right leg as well. Place your right hand onto your hip. Bend your left knee. Walk your right foot slightly forward. Let's move into half moon pose again. Reach the left hand outside the left pinky toe. Raise your right leg, reaching with the heel. Reach the right hand up. And you can touch the floor, touch a block. The gaze can stay down, or you can look to the side or bring the gaze up to the ceiling. Keeping long with the right leg. Try to move the shoulders away from the ears. A few deep, slow breaths. Keep strong with the left leg, firm in the left quads. And then with control and slowly bend the standing leg. We'll make our way back into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Open up the chest. Look up to your right hand. And with an exhale, lower the right hand down to the floor. Pivot your right heel up. Stick that variation of pyramid pose again. You can keep the left foot flat on the floor or flex your heel, driving the heel down to the floor, pointing your toes up. And try to spread your left toes as wide as you can so you feel more engagement onto your calf, onto the middle of the hamstrings, and breathe. Bend your left knee. Plant your palms again under the shoulders. Keep the engagement of the right leg. You'll pick your left foot off the floor and try to touch your left knee onto right above the left elbow, onto the left triceps. Keep holding here. Try to bring the heel closer to the glute. And then step back into plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, up dog. And with an exhale, downward facing dog. 5 deep, slow breaths. You can stay here in down dog with me or take a break in child's pose if you need. You can soften the gaze, almost like closing your eyes halfway. Bringing the chin closer to the chest. And stay soft with the breath. If you are in child's pose, you can come back into down dog. And now slowly let's walk our hands back towards the feet. You can bend the knees as much as you can, as much as you need. And the feet about as wide as the hips so the toes are not together. Hook your big toe here with your first and second finger. You can keep your knees bent or straighten the leg. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Lengthen the entire spine. As you exhale, fold, bend your elbows. Draw the elbows to the sides for Padangustasana. And as you pull your fingers onto your toes. Move the shoulders away from the floor. Keep moving the shoulders up. Try to get a little lighter on the heels, moving the hips forward. A few more breaths here. Keep breathing from the lower belly to the chest and then back. Inhale, lengthen again, still holding the big toe, come halfway up. Now release your big toe. Now we're going to slide the palms of the hands underneath the feet. Stretching the back of our wrists. Again, the shoulders moving away from the ears. You can keep the knees bent, lengthen. Exhale, release down. Fold forward. Keep connected to the breath the best you can. Firming the front of your thighs towards the back of your mat. You can kind of massage your wrists with your toes. Feels nice. Come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Slide your hands away from the feet. And then you can plant your palms down to the floor. Walk your hands all the way forward into downward facing dog. Press the heels back. Now you can give a small step forward in a short or downward facing dog. Move your shoulders over the wrists. Now place your right knee above the right elbow and bend your elbow like in chaturanga. You can keep your left toes down on the floor or lift your left leg into a one leg curl. Keep drawing the elbows towards each other, getting long on the left leg. And then slowly step down and step back to that short downward facing dog. Lengthen. Now bring the shoulders forward again. Place the left knee above the left elbow. Keep moving the shoulders forward, and you can keep your right toes on the floor or reach into Ekapada Bakasana, one leg curl. Keep drawing the elbows towards each other. Then you can set it down. Step back to that regular downward facing dog. And either way, you can take a break here in child's pose or stay for another 3 breaths in down dog. If you are in child's pose, come back into down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg back. Exhale slowly, right foot in between your hands. Lower the left heel to the side. Come up into warrior one. Just briefly here. And then any variation of Parsvottanasana, right leg straight. You can bring the hands behind your back, holding on onto your elbows. You can bring it to reverse namaste. Or just reach the hands up and fold forward over the right leg. Keep reaching the top of your chest forward here. Pushing down at the base of the right big toe. Deep, slow breaths. Keep the engagement of the left leg. Now inhale. Let's reach up from wherever you came from. If you have your hands on your back, reach the hands up. Keep the left hand reaching up, right hand onto your hip. Exhale. Place your left hand down onto the floor. You can readjust the distance of the feet if you need. The left hand can go inside or outside the right foot. Reach the right hand up for Parivrita Trikonasana, twisted triangle pose. Keep pushing the base of the right big toe onto the floor. Twisting from the upper back. And from the shoulder blades into your back ribs to broaden the chest. Exhale, lower both hands down. Walk the hands as far forward as you can. Lengthen the sides of the body. Put a small bend on the right knee. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. With an inhale, let's reach all the way up. Bring the right knee with you. Now we will, either way, reach the right hand back. You can place the left hand outside the right knee and twist, or hold the outside of the right foot and extend the right leg. Twisted Padangusthasana. 3 deep breaths. Keep the gaze steady. Keep reaching up with the chest. Release, inhale, reach up. Exhale, step your foot down, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up. As you exhale, plant your palms, you can step or float back. Chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Engage your legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep strong with the arms. Deep inhale, reach the left leg. Through the inner thigh, lifting up. Then slowly exhale, shoulders over the wrists, knee to your nose. Hollow your chest. Step your left foot in between your hands. Right heel down to the side. Keep your hips and chest squared. Come briefly into Warrior One. From here, take any variation of the arms, reaching back, holding on to the elbows, interlace the fingers, maybe reverse Namaste. Straighten the left leg. And then as you exhale, fold over the left leg for Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Keep strong by sealing the outer edge of your right foot down to the floor. Left big toe pressing down as well. Keep working on having the hips and the sides of the body reaching straight forward. And breathe here with slow, deep breaths. And from wherever you came from, you're going to reach your hands up to the ceiling again. If you need to readjust the distance of the feet, you can do so. Place your left hand on the hip, keep reaching the right arm up. Breathe to the sides of the body, exhale, lower the right hand down. Either way, the right hand can go inside or outside the left foot. Open up the chest, twist the triangle pose. Keep firming both legs, mainly on the inner edge of the left foot. Bring the weight to the base of the left big toe as the left leg is straight. Firm the shoulder blades into your back again, getting long with the neck, sliding the shoulder blades down, and breathe. Twist a little deeper. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Now walk your hands forward, lengthen the size of the body again. Put a small bend on the left knee, step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach all the way up. Keep the right foot down. Bring the left knee up. Now you can reach the left hand back and the right hand goes outside the left knee, or hold on to the outside of the left foot and extend the left leg. Keep the gaze steady on one point. Reaching up with the sides of the body. Right leg strong. 3 more breaths. Keep soft on the shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left foot down, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach to the sides and up. Exhale, straight back, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands. You can either step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the heels down. Now look in between the hands. We will step and jump onto our shins. So look here. We're going to jump to the front of the mat and bring the knees on the floor. The shins down to the floor. Now sit tall, sitting on your heels. We do a prep for a tripod headstand. So you're going to place your hands right next to your knees and try to visualize a triangle from here. The crown of the head will go right on top of that triangle. So your hands are not going to be too close to the head. The hands will stay next to the knees, and the head will go right there on that point that you're imagining on the mat. So you move forward, place the top of the head down to the floor, and the chin is close to the chest here, keeping the back of your neck long. Now straighten your legs. From here, you place your right knee on top of the right elbow, and the left knee on top of the left elbow. Keep drawing the elbows in. Maybe today this is all you're going to do. You don't have to go any further from here. Or bring the knees into the chest, and you can start bringing the legs up to the ceiling. Either way. Avoid opening the elbows too wide to the sides. Keep your gaze steady on one point. Still trying to keep the breath as slow as possible. Take your time, no rush. And from wherever you are, we'll make our way into down dog. I can just start piking my legs here, and then jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And with an exhale, downward facing dog. Press the heels down to the floor, get long with the arms again. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Left knee down to the floor, bring your hands on top of your thigh. Get long through the sides of the body here. Try to move the hips a little further forward. Now you can bring your left elbow outside your left thigh, palms together, and twist. You can stay here, or tuck your left toes under and pick your left knee off the floor. Twisting to open the arms wide. How it feels today. Three more breaths. Stay for another inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands down to the floor. You can step back into plank, move straight into down dog, or you can go through another vinyasa if you're feeling it. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press the heels down, pushing with the hands. Take another deep inhale here in down dog. Exhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Right knee down to the floor. Bring your hands on top of the thighs here. Take a moment to lengthen the sides of the body. And use your exhale to twist, elbow outside the thigh, palms together. Stack the shoulders. Stay here, or take your right toes under, pick your right knee off the floor, and take any variation you'd like here. Open the arms wide, work into the half bind or the full bind. And breathe, deep, slow breaths. Very important to breathe all the way to the top of the chest as we're twisting. Most times we have our breath a little more shallow once we're twisting. Try to keep the breath long. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Down dog, with or without a vinyasa. Your choice. Take another deep inhale in down dog once you arrive there. And with an exhale, move into a half pigeon pose. Bringing your shin to the front of the mat. You can slide your left knee as far back as you need. Lengthen here. And you can go as deep as you need here. Place the forearms down to the floor. Or you can rest your forehead down into the mat. We'll stay here a little longer on this hip stretch. So try to keep releasing a little more tension with each exhale. You can think of lifting the right glutes further away from the floor and driving the left side of the hip a little closer to the floor to level your hips. Watching what your breath's doing. For another 30 seconds here so you can keep releasing deeper and deeper, slowing down the breath. Slowly come back up. Plant your hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your left toes under. Pick your left knee off the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. And then pedal your feet here a few times. Mainly the right leg. If you need any other movement here, you can do that as well to release that tension. Today I'm just going to pedal my feet. That's how I'm feeling. You can do whatever you feel like. Then find stillness again in down dog. Press the heels down. Take a deep breath. And with an exhale, let's move into half pigeon on the left side. You can readjust the distance of the back knee. Lengthen. Then you can move any amount, folding over the left leg. Still connected with the breath, same intensity on each inhale, on each exhale. Letting go of what you don't need with the exhales, tension. About 30 more seconds here. Without any rush, start coming back up. Plant your palms again underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, lift your knee, step back into down dog, pedal your feet a few times. You can also make some circles with the left leg if that's what you need. From down dog, let's look forward, raise the heels, bend your knees. You can either step or jump to seated. Lay down on your back. Keep your feet flat on the floor, knees up, aligning the outsides of the feet with the outer hips. Plant your palms down, walk the shoulders in. And with an inhale, raise your hips into bridge pose. Keep broadening the chest. You can interlace the fingers behind your back, reaching your knuckles to your heels. Keep pulling your frontal hip bones towards your lower ribs and breathe. Raise your hips a little higher. Now release your hands, roll the spine down to the floor. As you do that, bring your knees into the chest, hug your knees in. From here, move into child's pose. Hold the outer edges of your feet. Roll the tailbone down to the floor. And start pulling your feet down. Getting the thighs closer to the sides of the waist. And just rock side to side here. Both sides of your back ribs. Releasing the shoulder down to the floor. Can allow the breath to come back to normal here, no effort on controlling the breath. And then at your own time, no rush, you can let go of the feet. Start setting up for your Shavasana, release the legs straight. Walk the shoulder blades in again so the chest is broad, chin closer to the chest. Can open the arms wide next to the body, and the feet roll open wide as well. And always keep watching the breath without controlling it. Allow your eyes to softly close. Let go of everything that you're holding on to. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. It's the final pose. Shavasana, I want to thank you all again for sharing some of your time with us here at Down Yoga. Thank you guys a lot. Namaste.